That girl is a real crowd, please.
It's like Public Enemy coming back with a white guy.
All right. And
Never
we
happened.
will be live in.
Hi, he's talking to me.
The clown has no penis.
In Musictown, Detroit, recording live. Prepare yourself for a hoppy drive. If you're chilling at home, pop that growler and just kick back for the next 2 hours. It's the end of the week, so here's to the weekend. It's Better on Draft with Rob, Matt, Nick, and Ken.
And we are live, episode 170, Better on Draft podcast. My name is Ken. We are here in Music Town, above Hockey Town. It is packed in the actual restaurant itself. There is apparently a Beatles cover band and Disney on Ice.
I think Disney on Ice started about like 10 minutes ago. There's
well,
like no kids here.
Who's the opener for who on that one?
I think maybe they go in order. So like you
Like
start off
Sesame
with
Street.
Snow White, and then you like work your way through the decades.
So is there like a Steamboat Mickey to start?
There might be, but I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to really go further than that.
Well, it's the first cartoon, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, probably. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Disney. They just kind of exist.
I would have thought that they'd be a great crossover episode to be like. Were the Beatles ever on like Scooby Doo? Did they ever solve a mystery?
No, I know.
Like, the Globetrotters did.
The Globetrotters did. I was about to say
were on-
Korn did, but that was on South Park Scooby.
But to say the Globetrotters were on Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
So, but the Beatles never.
They never did like a
Crossed.
crossover.
No.
Yeah, they weren't about.
Not that I'm aware of.
they weren't
No,
about-
the
they were
Beatles were
They weren't
not
on like
as,
Fantasy Island with like
No,
the
the-
Yellow Submarine or anything like
the
that.
Beatles were not as popular as the Harlem Globetrotters.
True story. Beatles suck.
So we are in studio. We're gonna go around. Nick, how you doing?
I'm okay.
What are you drinking over there?
I got Hazel's nuts from Oddside. There, let's give that to her.
It's the whole point of this show is to
Let's
share.
give that to her. And then what is this?
that is Beach Day from Arvon.
Arvin Brewing?
Arvon Brewing.
I don't know if they just started distroing, but I did see that Holiday Market got them in today. So
Yeah.
a couple New Englands I think they brought in. Is that a New England or?
Yeah.
Yes. So shout out to Ashley pointing those out, and while I was running in there and heading to the wrong studio.
I don't know if you guys know, but we definitely need more New England IPAs in this world. There definitely isn't enough. I think we need at
Shut the
least
front door.
Hashtag sarcasm.
Like I want just as many IPAs as New England IPAs at a bar. So if I see like a 12 tap handle where 4 are IPAs, I want 4 more to be New England IPAs.
So basically, you just want to go to Stone.
I mean, they're not good. So what are you drinking over there, Rob?
So I've got the Swayze Crazy from Arclight, and also the hell did I pour? Oh, the Beach Day from
Beach Day.
Arvon, which I have not sipped yet, so I'm not sure how that's running.
What do you think of the Swayze Crazy?
Pretty much, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, once Matt had it in his hands and he didn't say what it was, he just gave the name of it and said it was Arclight, and I was already saying that I was out because I thought it was going to be a sour. But, there I go, just like being stereotypical about Arclight beers.
Yeah, Java Imperial Stout. I don't think
Golden
there's-
Java Imperial.
I'm sorry, Golden.
Yeah, it's-
Java Imperial Stout. I can only see so much
It's-
because the angle that I'm on.
Not as viscous as I would like it to be.
Not as golden.
It's
More on the Java, and not on the
It's-
golden.
What
it's
does
more,
viscous mean?
It's more on the golden than it is
Probably
the Java.
viscous. Isn't it like really, really?
Viscosity is like the thickness
Really
of,
thick.
the liquid.
It basically is like 5W20, and I want this stuff to be.
So
I want this stuff to be
So
like.
you're saying motor oils?
I want this stuff to be like 20W80. it's just it. I don't know. It's just too thin.
Matt, what's going on?
I'm in love with this Arclight.
The
I think for every reason that Rob just mentioned he doesn't like it is exactly why I like it. It's yellow, it's light, it has a little bit of coffee, a little bit of chocolate, and it just goes right away, and it leaves me wanting more. So I could not disagree with Rob more, and love it. Yeah, this is good. This is encroaching like Paw level good. Not quite Jake's Vanilla Bean
Jake's
Porter.
Porter.
But this is really good.
So this isn't as complex as hell as Paw
I
Paw
think
is.
this is because you wouldn't expect these flavors to be cohabitating like they are. I would not, like you were thinking, you want a stout that's viscous. This is very light. This is almost like the white coffee stout over at Eastern Market, where it's not thick, it's not heavy. It's a pale ale with a stout, with a milk stout.
I mean, the only exception being that Eastern Market's white coffee stout is better for me.
I haven't had that yet. I think I might have had it, but it's not as orgasmic as you. I don't recall it being as orgasmic as you have gone off on it about being.
Their white coffee stout is still amazing. It still needs to be distroed. Their guy Seamus needs to get on that. That stuff needs to get in stores.
I feel like that's what's gonna happen the next time I have, like, I'm so excited, I'm so scared, is that I love that beer. It was such a good beer,
right?
But I've talked it up so much in my head that I'm probably just gonna hate it. I think it was the exact same way. Like, I still liked it, but it wasn't as good as I remember when I got Leffe Brun for the second time, because I had it on draft in Canada, and then the next time I had it in bottles, and I'm just like, I don't remember it being this.
But isn't that
flavor.
because your distro bubble was burst at the same time?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't that mad because beer is beer, and I was drinking it like crazy back then. I was going to merchants like once every 2 to 3 months and dropping a couple $100 on singles.
Oh my god! No,
merchants.
No, buy a 30 rack. Call it a day.
No,
you and your hams.
I mean, what else?
Bush Light.
Listen. You do whatever you want, but if I want to play beer pong with Final Absolution, I'll play beer pong with Final Absolution.
You'd be like a mutual friend of ours who did beer pong with Burnett's.
Oh no,
gross.
That's something I can get
Burnett's and
behind.
like root beer or something like that.
Yeah, 5 o'clock in lemonade.
Needless to say, she got trashed after one game.
She might have died.
Yeah, that's quite all right. So we do have a new official 5th member of the show.
We're making it official today.
I mean, I don't think it's official until she gets added to the intro, which takes me like months. But Jenna, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
TheBrewLocker.
I am fantastic. And I'm super duper excited to be a part of this.
Well, we're super duper excited to have you.
Thank you.
What are you drinking?
I am also drinking the Swayze Crazy.
So you're the deciding factor. Team Rob or Team Matt?
Or you can just be like Team
Sorry,
Nick and just
Rob.
don't care.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it. I like that.
Come to the dark side.
I mean,
That's
it's
racist.
getting
I'm the dark side. It's the opposite of racist.
it's getting out of the stout
Oh
season.
God.
So I like that it's lighter and still more drinkable
I mean,
to me.
think
I guess for me, is there a stout season? I don't feel like there's a season.
I drink seasonally, and I just had this revolution like
This
the
is
other
a
day.
famale thing. This
So
is a famale thing.
I don't like stouts in the summer. I only drink them in the winter.
All right, Jenna, well, the door's right there. I'm sure Dan is putting in a phone call to remove you permanently, so...
She wasn't added to the intro yet, so we're good.
Ryan, can we start this from the top?
I mean, for me, I don't care what time of the year it is. It could be in the summertime, and when people ask what my lawnmower beer is, Dragon's Milk. I'm good.
That's just too heavy for me. It just makes like it sits in my stomach. It's just too heavy. You know, if I have a lawnmower beer, I want to have like something really light and refreshing. You know, like a shandy.
Well, wait.
Team Country Tom Ale.
Like
Rattler,
maybe. Lining Kugel's Country
Yeah,
Time.
like a
Parade
soft
shandy.
parade.
Soft.
Yeah.
Okay, soft. Yeah, I like soft parade.
Or a Radler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, regular plain old soft parade. Yeah, it's a little on the heavier side, but
But it's still
7.2.
light
It's
enough where
light
you can
enough.
drink it. Yeah.
you'll get tanked after a couple.
It's
of them.
light enough where I think.
and then it makes the lawn work fun.
Or
Yeah.
what about that natural light strawberry whatever?
Matter days.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
I am all for it.
Yeah, whoever
I thought
brought
I was
that.
not gonna be about that when you
Yeah, you poo-pooed it early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whoever brought that, man.
That was me.
Jenna.
Oh, I know. I was trying to lead into like a backhanded
that for
slap.
ya.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Anyways,
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was really, really hard to find something wrong with it. I couldn't.
I
It's
can't
like
wait
you
till it's-
hate that you kind of like it.
Exactly.
I need to see it in
exactly.
24. I need to see it in Tall Boys, and then my life will be complete.
They have them now,
Oh, jeez.
And the Angels have sung.
and they're like soup's cheap too.
They're like
Oh,
three
God.
for $3.50, right?
Excuse me, waitress. Can we get some shots over here after hearing that?
They have them, I believe. Where was I at? Old Chicago in Southgate the other day, and they actually have them there.
You could have told me something about China, for all I know. Southgate, what is this place that you speak of?
Downriver,
Yep.
or as you say, like Ohio.
For us
Mini Ohio.
downriver people, for him, anything like under 6 Mile
No,
is
Mile.
unfamiliar to
I'm
him.
good till Fort Street. I'm good till Fort.
You're good to so you're good to Dearborn.
Yeah, I'm
that's
great in
about
Dearborn.
which is further.
He's pushing the Delray area a little
Fort,
bit.
Hey, Fort Street. Hey, listen,
Not that much,
I sell condos. They're $400,000 on Fort Street, so I'll go to Fort Street. But I'm not going west of
Street,
Dearborn, and
400,000?
Dearborn Heights
Fort
is
Shelby.
nice.
Fort 415. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. He's
I stand corrected.
he doesn't know anything about
All right, well,
our.
Rob,
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about our lives. No.
Old Chicago in Southgate has them.
You're telling the wrong
Eureka.
person.
I know exactly. Old Chicago
Turn away from
right
you.
on Eureka Road, Eureka, and I always forget what the name of that street is. Fort. Yeah.
Another
Excuse me.
place
Don't
that
die
probably
over there,
will
man.
have them is Zatuna
right next to the theater.
in Rochester Hills,
Zatuna will
Yeah.
probably carry it. Yeah.
just south of 59 on Rochester Road. Now also carrying the My Beer Box. So go stop and talk to Jack, Gus, order your My Beer Box there, and you'll be picking it up. For,
Is Gus
Easter
ever
weekend.
there?
I have not seen him. He might be in Clarkston.
I think he's always in Clarkston. I don't think the last time I probably see Gus was like last decade at Zatuna in Rochester. It's been a minute. It's always Jack.
Well, go say hi to Jack and
go say hi to Jack.
order a My Beer Box while you're there.
Yeah.
Is anybody drinking the beach day?
I was
think
not a
just
fan of
Nichols.
it.
I mean,
I'm not a fan of it.
this stuff is actually. I think there's so much resin in here that it is making me cough.
It's not making me cough,
Probably
but
needed to.
it's like I'm
should have
taking
probably
like
rolled
a,
it before you opened it.
It's like I'm taking
I
like a
didn't have
pine
the-
tree and biting into it.
I didn't have the Old Nation instructions on it. I didn't think that
And you could have used like this flat surface right here.
I
just to
could
roll
have.
it.
But yeah, it is just. It's like every sip, it just
I don't know.
starts okay, and then it just gets really dry, and it's like just powdery at the end. I don't get what's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
Ken, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Valentine vodka and Sierra Mist Zero Sugar.
Because
Well, see, now it's unfair if you ask me for it, because then like I need to.
I'm
bring
helping
it up.
you get out of your
I
system.
know. I need to bring it up naturally. Like yesterday when I was at Brew and Kevin DeVries from Founders wanted to buy me a drink and I couldn't drink because I'm on keto. There you go. See, just like that. He
You're
did
like
buy me a gin
Vinny
and tonic.
from like Jersey Shore.
He did buy me a gin and tonic, which was about as best as I could get over at Brew.
They have ciders and such, don't they?
You can't drink cider on keto.
Why not? Oh, it's all sugar.
All the sugar.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Speaking of, I mean, if you want some, I got some Sellerman's coffee cider.
Oh, I hate you
Yup.
so much. That's such a good
Next.
drink. So we do want to go over the results real quick of the IP8 of the Better on Draft bracket. And going over it, I'm trying to bring up the bracket, trying to get it on my phone
At least
right
my
now.
real brackets isn't busted yet.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be doing some traveling here for the
you
winners.
know, I was actually thinking the same thing when I was after thinking about
Excited.
from last week how many long trip breweries are still left in this thing.
Yeah, so the final four.
I haven't even heard the results until now, so
Yeah.
lay it down on us.
I have not consulted myself either.
We're at
There
the
we go.
final
So
four already.
we're on the fermented four.
The fermented four.
The fermented four.
Gotcha.
Fermented
We had
four?
Austin Brothers defeating Rustic Leaf.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Pina in the house.
We have One Well defeating Fillmore 13.
So I'm still in it. I still have a
Still-
shot.
It's going to be Austin Brothers versus One Well. And then on the other side, we have Drafting Table defeating Aberrant.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a
And
one local
Brewery
place.
424 defeating Jamex.
4-2-4 out of.
Holland versus Wixom going on
Yep,
there.
so we have Alpina, GR, Wixom, and Holland,
So
Michigan
we're-
as our
Kazoo.
choices.
Kazoo.
Kazoo, sorry, not
One
GR.
Well's-
I
One
mean,
Wells Kazoo.
Yeah.
I will, for the record, I will only go to Austin Brothers if we can go out to the airport out there and reenact scenes from Die Hard 2.
I mean, we can do. I don't know if we can do that.
Is that the one way to get you north of 14 Mile?
Yes.
That's really far north of 14 Mile. Like you just skip nearly the entire state just to reenact Die Hard.
I told y'all, up north to me is beyond 14 Mile. Period. That's it. Everything past Oakland Mall up north.
So joining what would be Draft Horse and Eternity will be Jamex in the Bad Beat bracket.
Oh.
So 3, including one more next at the end of this week's competition.
So there's going to be
those 3. There'll be 4 breweries
total.
going head to head in the final week, as well as the final week of the finals. So you have the 4s as well as the final one-on-one.
Yep.
The winner of the bracket for the Bad Beat bracket will actually get a $50 gift card bought by Better on Draft and given away to someone who voted for them. So they have more to gain at this time for actually doing the voting by simply voting for maybe the right brewery.
Yeah.
So
Turned your loss into a win.
exactly.
There you go.
So we're still going to be planning. I'm going to be reaching out to actually the 4 breweries later this week to discuss dates, times, just in case they win, as well as beers and how much it's going to hurt my wallet, depending on which brewery we go to. Because I'm assuming if we go up to maybe Alpina, it's going to be one of their milkshake IPAs or New England IPAs. I think Brewery 424 already, when I ran in there, the guy was really confident, like he knew what beer he was going to do.
Because he had his Russian bots running.
Yep, drafting table.
No, they've got a regulator's army.
It seems like they are truly kicking some ass right now because I mean, I really didn't even have them coming out of the first round.
Who was the highest vote getter out of all the? Do we know who?
424.
I think it's
424?
been every
Jeez.
single week.
Damn.
Are they going to be our new Baffin?
I don't know. I
They
think
beat
next.
the old Baffin.
I don't know. I mean,
I think next year is going to be really interesting in regards to who's going to be in it, how many people are going to be in the bracket, because I know we'll probably increase more than 32. But just so people are aware what we do, obviously we get permission from all the breweries to use their name, their IP, everything like that, just because we want them to be part of it.
Right.
We want them to join us, to have fun with it, to compete, to do all that stuff. Unlike
So we don't
Matt's
just, like-
new friends
So we
over
don't
at
just
the
like
Free Press.
put their names on a piece of paper and say go at it.
And we want people to go out to these breweries because I mean, like when we did for the first time, I know with one of the downriver groups, since you don't go down there that much, Matt. That one of the downriver groups, there were a couple guys that were in that group that actually was traveling to these breweries and wanted to try them out before doing the voting. And so it was like him and his friends or him and his dad, like that first week. And then in that second week where they were going to these breweries and trying them out and saying, all right, I'm voting for this one because, it's good to put this stuff out there for these people to, know that there's all these breweries that are out here and not just to keep going to your same old place and maybe they'll have a different beer or whatnot and something else to try. And, there's other places to try that are in the metro area.
And also, like, how many people do you think in St. Clair Shores that voted for JamX knew about Brewery 888 before today?
888.
Well, I don't know if it's 242 or 424.
424.
So I might as well just call it
Brewery
888.
586.
Stop
Brewery
unsimplifying
810.
the fraction.
So the thought is, like, now St. Clair Shores people, as they go out west this summer, they're probably going to stop at Brewery
424.
because they've heard of them, whereas they might not have otherwise left that bubble. So and then vice versa, people from Brewery
424.
might come down to St. Clair Shores
Fill in the blank.
and try the beer that they've never heard of.
Yeah, like-
because they're out there.
'cause
So
they're
it's
like-
all about, again, back to the mission statement of Better on Draft or Best on Tap, as I hear that there's going to be a knockoff from the cheap press. As we're all about promoting the business and the community of craft beer. So if we can introduce you to another brewery that you might not otherwise have known, that's kind of what what we're here for.
Yeah. So tell me, how do you really feel about their bracket and the fact that they started running this bracket?
Their
the other day?
inaugural bracket.
Their inaugural bracket, which is a pretty big bracket that they're running.
Well, I mean, we've done this our third year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's clearly not anybody's inaugural bracket because it's been doing at least 3 times. But I'm sure that we've copied this idea off of other people, and I'm sure
Untapped had it.
I'm
before
sure
us.
other people have had it as well.
Untapped was pretty interesting though because it was solely based on check-ins.
Okay.
So you had like based on brewery check-ins, and you had Anheuser-Busch in there, you had Miller Coors in there.
So I guess what I think we are trying to do, which kind of we're working on,
we're trying
is-
to give away beer.
but we're also trying to highlight a lot of the macro and nano breweries. Whereas I remember one of the comments on the cheap press comment section was, "Why is Atwater a number 1 seed?"
There's comments for that for Atwater and for Shorts too.
So my thought is, while we all love Atwater and Shorts and even Old Nation too,
of course.
a thing, they don't need further promotion.
Right.
Okay, they don't need us to help them, and we don't want to be a brand that.
Are you sure? I
tanks-
think Travis is struggling over there at Old Nation.
Yeah, which I feel bad for that
The
right now
haircut
because
maybe,
it's
but other-
in that first round it's Old Nation versus Eastern Market Brewing, and I'm just like, damn.
But like, I think we're here for the little guy, you know.
I mean,
and
yeah.
this whole idea of the Free Press ripping off our idea blatantly, it's an
Someone's
idea.
not bitter.
It's the idea of the big guy taking the little guy's idea. It's been happening since Elvis, right?
I mean,
Don't get me
if you-
started on Elvis, man.
If you take
Really?
a look, oh, go ahead.
No.
I'm
That's
saying-
all I got right now.
I mean, if you take a look at the show over the course of the 3.5 years that we've done this, how many of the breweries that we've had were those little guys? Majority.
Yeah, and that's what
of them.
that's what we're here for.
And that's what part of the show is about those highlighting those small, medium guys like an Old Nation. Well, Old Nation was small at first. Oh God, what is she drinking?
She's got that cold
I told
Coors
her to
Light.
bring a
Coors
palate
Light.
cleanser.
Well, we are a hockey town, and that's what they serve. So it is what it is.
I mean, I grew up on this. All right?
Hey, you know what? Coors Light was
in the bottle.
Oh, in the bottle?
Yeah.
There was
You
a
know.
place that Ken and I went to. It's closed, but we would get like $5 pitchers of Coors
Oh
Light.
yeah, we used to go to JD's and
JD's bar.
Fraser?
Yeah, it was in downtown Fraser.
There's a downtown Fraser.
Yeah, it's
it's-
like a block.
It's the 2 bars, the CVS and the El Charo.
Oh, the shots.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's called now. Is it Hofbrau?
Yeah,
or is
Hofbrau.
it-
Hofbrau's closed.
Oh, it's not
But
Hofbrau
it's
anymore?
that same building.
It's that same building.
Okay.
Our mutual friend of ours, his aunt owned it, and we would like run the place Thursday, Friday,
That one
Saturday
place
night.
just they couldn't sustain a brewery or a bar in there. I don't get it. But my sports bar right across the street is doing
Yeah, but
crazy.
that's like the 3rd or 4th iteration since JD's before
Yeah.
it turned into My Sports Bar.
No,
Yeah.
my sports bar is across on the other side of the.
Yes,
It's
but I'm
on the
saying
opposite.
that
It's in
there's-
the
there
corner
was-
straight across.
There
Yeah.
was another bar, but
So
like there was
JD's,
it was
it was
Hoo-Ha.
Papa's Pizzas.
yeah, there was Hoo-Ha.
There was Papa's Pizza. It was a Hoo-Ha, which is a knockoff
Hoo-Ha.
of BD's Mongolian Barbecue.
Yep.
You all in check.
There was something before that
Okay,
because
Busta.
that
Oh, I thought you were Al Pacino.
Well, I mean,
Al Pacino.
and I figure since we have a new host, shouldn't we go through some new host questions?
new host question.
Hit me.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
But
Not literally.
show them all your notes. Do you have your?
Oh, okay.
Wait, you wrote notes?
She wrote notes.
Bruh.
Bruh, you
I
don't
wrote
even-
lots of notes.
Bruh.
She was
Oh,
taking
she brought
notes,
a
so
book.
she actually officially started on episode 171, which is next week's pre-recorded episode.
So it's like back in
that is some
back
awesome
in the
planning.
future.
Well, yeah, we're back to futuring.
Back to the Future, yes.
To the past. So she just pulled out a spiral notebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
and I
where's
see that
camera?
front page.
Over
It's-
here?
Oh, there's one there. There's
One
one
in each
here.
yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to. Oh wait, Ryan's going to
There
the
you
to the
go.
computer, and I think he's zooming in. Maybe.
He's
4 pages of notes. Is what
4
it says.
pages of notes.
gosh, I want to know what's in there.
What?
Yeah, I bet you do.
Dude,
Lots of good stuff.
Ooh.
so I don't know if we went through it the first time that you were on the show, but if we did, if so, well, but
It's a
remind
repeat,
everybody,
That's okay.
what was your first beer?
My first craft beer was, I believe, 90-minute IPA, which is
Wow, that's
Yeah.
bold.
really fucking harsh.
Bold decision.
That's
Connor.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Old ass move.
But the beer that kind of started everything for me was Oddside Java Mint Chip
Yep.
Stout,
Yep.
which I have one in my fridge. I'm going to revisit it because I haven't had it in a few years.
Nice.
So I'm excited to see what I think about it now since my palate has changed a whole bunch. But that was probably the beer that kind of sparked my interest in like, oh, this can taste good.
Doesn't just have to be Coors Light anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it
Coors Light
doesn't
tastes
have to
good.
be Coors
Coors
Light.
Light's not bad. I mean,
Coors Light's great when you want to get tanked on $15. But
hell yeah, dude.
Right? When you just want to
got a budget.
slam them.
I remember vividly, I was 21. I had just came home from college. My friend and I went up to the party store. We got a 15-pack of Coors Light. We went back and we started watching sports. And then he looked at me and he said, "We're fucking idiots." And I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "For 50 cents more, we could have got a 30-pack of Busch Light."
Hater.
Which, I mean, when you're a broke college kid, that's what you do, right?
I feel like you
Shit, I'm
do
a broke
everything
28-year-old.
in 30-pack like
Broke
mathematics.
33-year-old.
Like how much you do real estate. How much does this house cost? Well, it costs about 30 racks.
No. It should be like, "Oh, how much is my check this week?" My broker will tell me about 1,530 racks.
So the Java mint chip. So what's the
Java. What was the Naughty Girl Stout from
from
Right
Right
Brain?
Brain.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
Brain. I have one of those in my fridge as well.
I was gonna say the pink lemonade. That's pretty good. Oh, they actually have the nutrition facts in there. Let's see here.
It's
Don't
2019.
look at it. I'm drinking it. Please don't look.
I
Are
mean,
you on keto too?
No, but this was in my notes.
This tastes like mustard.
Oh.
technically, this is the entire
Week of
day.
keto.
Oh no, just day. I mean, it's maybe a little bit
57
more.
carbs.
No, it's only 24, but only 16 are sugars.
So 8
So
carbs.
I there's no dietary fiber in here, so I don't think I'm gonna be drinking this. I'll just pass this off.
unless somebody makes
Is
like
anybody
a
else
raisin
getting
brain
like
stout.
hints of mustard in this, or
No,
is that maybe?
it's totally you.
Maybe you need your palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Would you like me to pass you mine?
No, I've got.
I
Crack open your
gave him
Diet
some
Vernors.
Diet Vernors, yeah, because we're not in the.
When
Why
you
don't you
said-
go drink some hams?
Because I don't have any hams.
Well,
Well,
then-
they would.
We're in Detroit. There's got to be a place that sells it around here.
Got Miller Lite there. We're okay.
Miller Lite.
Drink your Miller Lite then.
I'm going to relax.
All right. So you've got your once in a whiles. What's the go-to? Like your craft beer that you basically can have
Anytime.
any time, any day of the week.
Bean flicker.
Bean flicker.
Yep. Another odd side, which I have recently.
Are you shooting for a job or something? Or
No, listen. I've recently come to the realization that Oddside is my favorite brewery. It was Shorts.
Are you sure you're not scheming for?
No, I'm serious.
Wes is
Wes,
listening.
we have an applicant.
I'm
Wes,
serious.
Josh, we got an applicant.
Shorts
Marty?
was my favorite because they offered so much, but a lot of their stuff I try and I don't really love. But I can't think of a beer off the top of my head from Oddside that I've tried that I don't like.
I mean, well, Oddside is just one of those
Mayan
breweries-
Mocha.
What's that?
It said Mayan Mocha.
Mayan
I
Mocha.
love
Imperial
Mayan
Mayan
Mocha.
Mocha.
I haven't had that yet.
I'm not a
Oddside
fan of
is just
spicy
one of
stuff,
those breweries that they shoot from the hip with so many different types of beer. Go to their place in Grand Haven, and you just see
Yeah.
along the wall every beer label that they've come up with. There's got to be at least 100.
Yeah.
Well, what's
now-
crazy
it wraps
is
around
that
the whole brewery.
They also distro so many of their beers. It's not
Which,
just
which
like
is another
in-house.
impressive feat
It's-
for.
It's so much distro that it's almost like they're fighting themselves for shelf space because
Yeah.
you can only.
They
put-
are. I mean,
But is that a
If
good
you're
problem to have?
I
it
don't
isn't.
know.
It isn't. I mean, if a retail if from the sales side, you go to a retailer say, "Hey, I have a new odd side SKU to bring in," they're going to say, "Cool, take one out."
Sure.
So, but I mean, if you go to a place like 8 Degrees, which is now carrying my beer box, you can stop in it with Tim
Nice
and
plug.
Shameless plug.
grab my beer box. They have a warm shelf where you can shop, or it's expected to not have cold beer all the time. The issue, I think, that's changing in the craft beer world is people are now okay with not buying not cold beer or
Right.
not ready to drink beer.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that don't buy beer to drink right away.
I disagree
yes.
with that.
They're in regards to
I agree.
Yeah.
when was the last
that.
time
Yeah,
like
me too.
when I buy beer and I just go home and throw it in the fridge, I'm not going home and drinking it.
That's exactly
later.
why. That's why I go and buy beer.
Yeah.
I go buy beer so I can drink beer.
I'm not.
I don't go buy beer to just
I
keep
do
in my
both.
fridge.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times where I buy beer specifically to drink right away, and I will get cold beer, or I'll toss it in the freezer for a little bit. But there are more often times than not that I buy it and stick it in the fridge, and then maybe a few hours later I get to it. If not, I get to it another day.
Maybe I'm just a crazy person.
Yeah, but you also live life based on like 30 racks, so I think that's
do.
what you're.
I think it was Tyga that once said racks on racks on racks.
Racks on racks.
It kind of did.
And then
And for me, it's not something where it's just want to have immediately. It's just, I'll get home and they'll throw stuff in the fridge. I may be just like going in the kitchen, just making dinner, and then just make dinner, have one after, like while I'm eating dinner or afterwards. But it's never anything for me where I need to buy the beer, have it cold, get home, and then the moment I walk in the door, crack one open.
see that's
but
a lifestyle I don't understand.
At that point, I could always just buy one cold beer to hold me over until the other beer gets cold, so that I'm not limiting myself to
Yeah.
just the cold shelves.
Or you have beer already cold in your fridge while the other ones are cooling.
I
Yeah.
have so much beer in my refrigerator, I still
Who are
don't know
you
what to do with it.
I mean, there's the ones where you, there's even the ones where you don't even have to have cold, like a barley wine or just barley wine style ale, where those you pretty much want to have room temperature. Even with those, it's just like, okay, let it sit there, and just let it chill out for a bit. I got shit to do. I don't.
Could always put ice cubes in the beer.
Who does that?
I don't even put ice cubes.
I have a friend. I used to bowl with him, who would he'd get a glass and he'd have a glass of ice and he'd pour his High Life into the glass of ice.
Wait, is this someone I know?
Watered down beer.
Yeah, yeah. You got to
You've got to
understand.
cut
So
champagne.
he's
Scotch on the rocks.
He's about 65.
Oh.
Former like DFD sergeant.
Okay, no, all right, I know who it is.
And so
No, he's cool.
the kind of drinker he is, and he is a drinker for
This is the
sure.
guy that drove
So
you
he's
through
gotta,
Chicago
like-
on like
No, this no.
100 miles?
You're thinking of a different guy.
I'm thinking of
That's
number two, right?
Yeah, a different set of people. Still a bowling person, but yeah, this guy would definitely go like one for one with all the kids that he was bowling with in regards to drinking beers.
Because he watered him down.
Oh no, yeah, I mean he was still drinking the beers just as fast with the ice. I just don't know how he did it.
left and right.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah, no,
it'd
I've
probably be
seen-
even more impressive if he did it through a straw.
I know who he's talking about. I've talked to him on a couple of occasions.
Gross.
He does drink a decent amount at the bowling.
But see, like
I don't even put ice in my bourbon. I just take that.
Just drink it straight.
Oh hell yeah, I drink that straight.
I've put ice in my wine before.
Ice in your wine?
I think
I
that's
have a-
more
What?
common than anything.
yeah, the crazy woman I once got engaged, she did that religiously, and then she would also drink it out of a straw.
I do vodka and
weird.
ice.
That's
Wine out of a straw.
I've done
iced
it if
wine
it's
out of a
not
straw.
cold. Like if it's not cold enough, or getting back to the beer.
Yeah,
If I buy wine, I want the wine now.
sure.
But
temperature or not, yeah.
I can't think
yeah.
of a time in my life. I can't think of many times in my life where I didn't buy beer to then start drinking it when I got to the location.
I think it's just something
Huh.
that as you get older that you just, like
I don't
Rob
think
said.
Matt ever grows up.
Yeah, Matt doesn't.
Patience.
I went to
Peter Pan
Kroger on
existence.
Thursday and picked up beer. It was yesterday. I went and picked up beer yesterday, and I went and
You
drank it when I
didn't
got
have
home.
beer in your house to.
I did, but I didn't want that beer.
First world problems.
To be fair, okay, so I've
Those are
been
some real
trying to
first
keto
world
it with
problems
you
right there.
a little bit. I'm down 6 pounds.
Look at you.
Look at me. You can't notice.
How
'cause
was
I'm
that
in my-
pretzel?
That was this beer, right? So like I'm either vehemently on keto or vehemently off keto. So I'm like a roller keto.
Rolling
That's
Keto.
not how that works. But go on.
Keto coaster.
Keto coaster.
There you go.
But I got White Claws. I love these sparkling seltzer waters.
I still want to try Clear Coast with some gin. Like
Why not just drink them as they are?
I mean, I would, but why not drink?
Less
Gin.
of them.
2 weeks. I'll go get a 15 rack of Clear Coast and we'll knock them out during
Do
the
it
show.
to it.
Right before the show?
No, on the show.
On the
do,
show.
During the
what if we do? What if we get a whole? So like we did, remember a few years ago, Actually, wow! It might have been where we got all the major macro lagers and we taste them and we did a blind tasting.
Yeah.
let's do that with seltzers next week.
Some White Claw, some Truly.
Rob, would you be okay with that?
As long as it ain't for a loco, I'll fuck with it.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've had a bad experience.
I had a bad experience.
Can we try it one more time?
No.
One more time.
I mean,
I'm going to be Rob's bodyguard on
but
this
here's
one.
the thing:
no,
is
we're
that
not doing it.
the first time he broke out the Four Loko, he poured in a glass. He said he'd give me $20 to drink it,
And I gave it.
just said, well, all right, $20 is $20. And I drank
Was
that
it worth
shit.
it?
I mean, I'm still here, right?
You lost a little bit of blood, though.
In an Antoine Fisher standpoint, I'm still standing. I'm still strong. So I'm still here. Got my $20.
I gave you $20.
Yeah, you did give me $20.
Actually, this is more a Richard Pryor thing, isn't it?
Is there,
I'm still
Matt,
here.
This ain't Bruce's Millions.
is there a drink where we would have to pay you to drink
Is there a beer you would have to
a
pay?
beer?
no,
a
I
drink?
mean any
Drink,
drink,
drink?
period.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not talking like the disgusting shots or drinks where they put like mayo in it.
ew.
You've never seen those?
No.
Oh
So,
yeah, where
like,
they
are
put
you like-
mayo in a shot of like Jaeger or something like that?
So we're not. So no cement mixers, right?
Yeah, no, not
Ew,
like cement
sour
mixers.
black licorice? No, thank you.
I didn't say you had to do it. I was just saying what it was.
I don't think there is. Like, if I were like at my limit, and you said take this shot, I might say only if you pay me.
I mean, if we
What about
brought
something with like
I
hot
have
sauce?
one.
if we brought the cold press back,
I'm not bad with that.
You're not bad with hot
You
sauce?
saw me with the cold press. It was
Yeah.
right down
what
the
would it be
edge.
for you, Jenna?
Jameson.
Jameson.
You won't do Jameson?
I can't. It like makes my throat close.
Like literally Jameson or just
Jameson.
Actually,
shots
you
of
know,
Jameson.
you're good with whiskey
right.
or scotch.
Just Jameson.
But Jameson specifically.
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, on that note, you triggered me. Hashtag triggered. Crown Royal
My
will make me
apologies.
run for the exits.
Crown, just regular
Crown Royal?
For some reason, blended whiskey immediately makes me vomit.
I don't
So
Really?
blended Canadian whiskey, I mean, I can puke and rally like the best of them, but if you give me Crown Royal the moment it hits my lips, I've got like a 30-second show.
I don't understand. how
So,
people drink
That
anyway.
used to be me with Jameson, but now I love it.
Yeah, so
Like,
for
I can't.
so for me, it Jägermeister.
Jaeger.
Yeah. And then
drink a bottle of that.
Oh fuck that. And now so much more today, Liquor 43.
No mini beers.
No
for
mini
ya?
beers for me. It can be anything else, but
Rob, is
those
there,
two things.
Is there anything else that's not Four Loko?
Ooh. More of that?
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same
I just
thing.
poured the rest. Why don't you save that? Let me.
Okay. All right.
I haven't even said.
Other than
2 hour show.
anything other than Four Loko, absinthe.
I haven't had that yet.
Absinthe. The last time I actually had it was the last time that I volunteered over at Two James and helping them bottle. I think it was bottling mezcal that day, and
I think I remember that.
and they had everything just laid out on a barrel, everything just kind of sitting there, and I said, you know what?
Let's try it.
Let's just try it, just for the fuck of it.
YOLO,
Let's just see what
right?
happens. YOLO hashtag, and it just like poured in the glass, and it's like this smelled, and it just took the whiff of it, and it's like this smells like black licorice.
Yup.
I hate black licorice. This is a bad idea.
And you did it
Fuck
anyway.
it, and just took it back anyway, and
Biggest mistake of your life.
yeah, it was just like, what the fuck is this? What is this? and just like I grabbed the bottle of the nearest thing that was to me and just poured another shot just to try and clear that out. And it was it just happened to be the gin barrel aged vodka, which is what I ended up going home with that time when I volunteered.
Yeah, you did.
Because that stuff was amazing. That stuff is awesome.
Nick, do you have a?
Yeah, he was saying it was Jaeger,
Jaeger and Liquor 43.
Ugh.
Any
Ken?
of you ever had Bacardi 151?
I have
Never.
a pint of it in my house right now.
That
Never-
makes my
I've act-
eyes water.
I've never actually
So what you're
had
saying in
151
2
before.
weeks I should bring
No.
it in studio.
I remember
I
taking
can
it
bring
one
some
time.
amaretto
Oh,
for you too. We can do like a flaming Dr Pepper live on show,
that
like
sounds fun.
Just get some amaretto and some bourbon. Make a
Ken,
Godfather.
It's amaretto with
good.
151 on top, lit on fire, dropped into a pint of lager.
But you.
Maybe. Okay.
So
Fire
I mean,
hazard.
I took a shot of Bacardi 151,
Well,
and I
that's
was like,
that's
oh,
that's
God.
just your bad
It was
decisions.
terrible.
I've
Yeah, it
shot
was terrible.
Everclear.
Oh my
I
God,
shot
what is
Everclear.
wrong with you?
Damn. And then you
I
put it
was
in a
20.
tank and started a car?
It was probably like
I
5 or 6
urinated it
years
out.
ago.
It could start a car.
I needed something to clear up my sinuses.
And you chose Everclear?
my friend Brock had Everclear,
yeah. Yep.
and he put blue food dye in it, and he had one that had red food dye. So it was like mana and health potions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't. This was not a Matrix pick your pill.
Take the
No,
red
it's not a
pill.
Matrix.
Yeah, he had like some like this is another mutual friend of Ken's and I. He had like some kind of like thing at his house for was it like some kind of sporting event or
Probably.
we were just drinking for fun. He pulls out, hey, you want to have some health potion? I'm like,
Oh yeah, he does.
sure. I
Yes,
taste
please.
it. I take a sip of it. I'm like, what the fuck is in this? And he's like, oh, it's
Wait,
Everclear.
red and blue
Oh, God,
potion?
no wonder.
Was he going for the Legend of Zelda pull there?
Diablo.
Diablo. Okay.
So for me, Southern Comfort.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's such an easy one to.
So
That was actually like one of the first liquors that I
Too
actually
much Mountain Dew.
enjoyed.
With SoCo.
there was a time, and we'll tell this right before we take a break. There was a time, it was 2005, because I remember the year. I remember I was in Chicago, and I remember I
Was it
had.
raining?
I don't remember the weather. It was inside a hotel room, and I wasn't.
Set the scene, please.
I wasn't of age.
Was this Hoffman Estates?
Yes. And I had a friend of mine get me a fifth of SoCo 100. And this is what I've been told what happened.
No. You know it's
These
bad.
are the worst. When this is what you've been told what happened.
So I finished the entire fifth to myself because I was just carrying it around, drinking it straight from the bottle because why waste glasses?
Yeah, sure.
Then we got kicked out of the hotel room we were in. So I brought everyone to the suite that I was staying in. So at one point, maybe 3 a.m., I looked at everyone and I said, all right, everyone, goodbye. And so everyone left. Now, all of my roommates were gone. They were in downtown Chicago. So they get back at about 4:30.
Were they at Neo?
Yeah, they were at Neo.
How do you know this? Were you there?
Because
in
I was on the
Chicago.
same trip. I wasn't
Just different
one of his
people.
roommates. Just different yeah. We'll tell you at the break.
So the guys all come in, and I'm laying down on the bed, like sprawled out, so nobody can sleep in it. I'm passed
Never
out.
heard this story
At one point, somebody came up. This is, again, what they tell me. They come up, they check for my pulse to make sure I'm alive.
You didn't Chris
That's
Farley it?
comforting.
My room is filled with empty beer cans, empty bottles, empty everything.
Dude, that's legit, man.
I woke up. I had the worst hangover I've ever had in my life.
Even to this day?
Even to this day at 19.
Wow.
I remember waking up just looking like shit. And we're about to take a break, but I will during the break tell Rob how absinthe works into this story. And we're going to be right back with the Better on Draft podcast.
Clear back.
We all supposed to uplift me, shifty. Everybody set them up Shit's Creek. And I just said something embarrassing to Cheryl Teagues. And I'm aware of tease, but I'm staring at a paradise. High five, bro, singing somewhere. 5 or less sign, think about a rise and decide that I'm gross. And find time with fine folks. I'm some ride or die close. I want to ride a unicycle across the tightrope. Like the battle, I might choke. I might choke the shit out of a rapper with the right quote. I hate to be accused of hyperbole. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, courtesy. Yo, I'm 33. Give a fuck about your diet serving me. Insert your favorite surgery. Whole goddamn circus is absurd to me. Return to a mercy me, murder modernity permanently. Yeah, big perm picturing some urban weed. But y'all are nervous about a turpentine. Running from the gun serpentine. I've had the perfect week. Earth to dweebs since I've learned to tweet. I've been like large, extra large. Bars, Escobars. Hearts and cars. Tarnish the stars. Charge at the guards. Garnish with law. Parch from cigars. Large, extra large.
Fill my pockets with the wallet of a missing thought. Big pill, pop it ill. Got and hit the chill spot. Y'all got the pot of chili hot. Really not dealing with you Billy Bobs. SOB. Silly sob stories getting gory with the Philly cheese. Spill it on my filthy jean jacket. Reenactment of a pigeon crapping. Pissing in your picnic basket. Pitch and catch you sick and fetch. Wiggle like you pitch pitch the tent. Rhymes and beats so sick you wrench. Sitting on your picket fence, you hit the deck. Records jaw, chop 'em like a chicken neck. Second best, something that I'll never be like sick of sex. Pick up checks, something that I never do. Pickle eggs, something that I never chew. Get respect, something that I never knew like revenue. Resolute to evolute. Get up off my level in your devil suit. I don't need your residue, your resume embellished, mine is bulletproof. Bully on cubes for the fennel super friend of few.
Large, extra large, bars, Escobars, hardest in cars, tarnish the stars, charged at the guards, garnish with law, parched from cigars, large, extra large, bars, Escobars, hardest in cars, tarnish the stars, charged at the guards, garnish with law, parched from cigars, large, extra large.
Exhausted in a soft spot, soft, but I get off, and I thought I might be a great one beneath it. What I make from the songs that I make in layman's, I'm a straight bum, dumb how I radiate. Radio made with love, integrated, I'm a grade above. Ayo, I'm patient with impatient love, saintly for my space and funds, forever keep a face of fuss. Amazing we your taste buds, never make a fuss. I was made a son in 81 and 98. I take some drugs, a couple major ones. Still not emaciated, taste the crumbs. Turn up the bass and let the basic bump. Banal to my blood, stain the avenue. Cats are cool, cashes roll. And we catching all the cancer too. Passive while we chanting mood. Laughing at the banners till I'm pushing up the daffodils. Low hanging fruit. Don't hang with you and yours. She got low bangs. And you a human and humidor. Slow change of views. Movement of a troubadour. All in all, I'm smart enough to know what stupid's for. Low hanging fruit. Don't hang with you and yours. She got low bangs. And you a human and humidor. Slow change of views. A troubadour, true. All in all, I'm smart enough to know what stupid's for.
Bittersweet sounds, one in the street town. Syndicates drowned by the litigants, hung by our ligaments. Workers losing benefits, criminal interest in it, claiming they're beneficent. We are in a new time, paradigm shifting, and they're telling us we're shiftless when all we do is show off our shifts and shit. Standing on the fiscal cliff, polar bears swimming for the coast, post up and bear witness rope thinner than the hair on our chinny chin. Chilling in chinchilla skin, slipping, sipping chivas, chicken littleish. Sky is falling, dying birds, Mark Fitterich. March in the mist, tear gas, cartridge, carcinogen, sniff 'em in.
Forget the sirens and listen to the words I'm saying. Forget the crunch of broken glass on the feet. Forget the patterns of light reflected off the edges. Forget the bag, get off the street, yo. Low hanging fruit, don't hang with you and yours. She got low bangs and you a human and humidor. Slow change of views, the movement of a troubadour. All in all, I'm smart enough to know what stupid's for. Low hanging fruit, don't hang with you and yours. She got low bangs and you a human and humidor. Slow change of views, the movement of a troubadour. All in all, I'm smart enough to know what stupid's for.
And we are back, episode 170, Better on Draft podcast.
Shazam!
I don't know if we have the little thing, but I'll do it for you. Here is Robert with the beer news.
I was waiting for that part. I was like, who's going to jump in for that part?
Hard copy.
You're welcome.
Current affair.
That is a...
Inside edition.
Can we get, hold on, I know we talked about Cameo a few
I'll do
months
it
ago.
live.
Can we get like one of those really deep voice scary guys to do it?
I mean, I probably
Robert with the new, like John Walsh from America's Most Wanted.
John Walsh.
With the new.
You know, speaking of newsworthy topics, that's a really nice hoodie you got on there, Matt.
It is a very comfortable. I'm actually surprised I'm the only one wearing it today.
I definitely underdressed for the weather. It was very nice and sunny, so I wore like a nice.
Did you not see Did you not see the two like storms of flurries during the?
I got no storms down in Detroit.
There were 3 flurry fests,
Yeah,
but
not-
I did
not
get
where
this
I was.
from the great people at T-shirts.beer. So if you're in the market and you're looking for T-shirts, hoodies, beanies, swag, koozies, anything you can put your brand on, or if you need a logo and to get that even taken care of, reach out to T-shirts.beer, and they will hook you up with the most comfortable clothing, the best sunglasses, great artwork. They personally helped me out with my beer box more than I can ever thank them for. So if you're ever thinking about a family reunion, a work function, or starting your own business, reach out to tshirts.beer. That's actually a real website. I'm not lying to you. I'm not that drunk. And
Get you some
let them know.
comfortable ass hoodies.
Get you some get you
Seriously,
some
that-
clothes.
That hoodie. I am constantly reminded from Matt to make sure that I wash the hoodie every time I wear the damn thing. But
I wear it to sleep.
Yeah, it's
so
comfortable. You don't need a
comfy.
blanket. Fuck that. It's comfy.
Well, that's because you guys
Scratch the blanket, wear a hoodie.
Yeah, wear the
Well, that's
hoodie.
because you have a wife who will steal the covers, so you need to.
No. The way that works is that I'm the one who apparently steals the covers. So
And you have the hoodie on.
yeah,
You are
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah. Apparently,
I get covers stolen
Yeah.
from me too,
Oh yeah.
and I'm the cold one.
Yeah, but your boyfriend's like 100 pounds soaking wet. So
No, he's not. He's like 2.
he looks tall and skinny.
He is tall, but like he's got muscle.
Nice.
There you go.
4K.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
She's doing a little head shake. She's like,
I know. I got shook off on that one.
Talk about my boyfriend.
talk about my boyfriend.
Give you some snaps
Shit.
Right?
if I could. Snap.
You can't? No?
My nails get in the way.
Oh, oh, yeah.
But I can't anyway.
Oh.
Just a good excuse.
Yeah, that's valid enough.
All right.
What you got for us, Rob?
So going into the news, I guess we'll go into the first thing, which Matt kind of pointed me to the other day, is that the Pink Boot Society, a nonprofit organization with international membership, which supports women working in the brewing profession, brewed a limited release beer in collaboration with U.S. hop supplier Yamaka Chief on International Women's Day.
With whom?
Yamaguchi.
Yamaka Chief.
Yamaka Chief.
Is that like the yarmulke, like the Jewish headwear?
No.
Okay. It sounded like the chief of yarmulke. It's not.
Let me finish the whole.
Sorry.
God damn it. I mean, going in the middle of this, and you want to start going about Jewish headwear?
Yarmulke chief? Doesn't that sound like? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Proceed.
Ignore Matt.
Dump button.
So
Continue the news.
So they brew this beer with Yamaka Chief to honor International Women's Day and celebrate one of the most notable Supreme Court justices of our time.
Brett Kavanaugh.
He likes beer.
The thing is, I put that line in there just so one of you would
beer.
throw somebody in there who would make no fucking sense, and I appreciate that
welcome.
because it
Drink
makes no
American
fucking
beer.
sense. But the beer is a Belgian brut IPA that they named When There Are Nine, which refers to the answer that Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, otherwise known as Notorious RBG, gave when she was asked a question of when will there be enough women on the Supreme Court.
Credit this actually. Jenna sent me the article. I just forwarded it to you because I know
well, thank
I
you,
didn't
Jenna.
have.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
That's probably in her notebook.
Yeah. So the beer
One of
the beer is being
small
released
things.
at the Sam Adams Tap Room in Boston for a special event where it's going to be $5 for every ticket that's sold is going to be given donated to the Pink Boot Society, as well as $1 for every beer that is sold. So I kind of had a question at the end of this, is that was there a judge or a politician that you'd nicely name a beer for?
Nicely named.
Nicely.
I love how he slides in the nicely
nice.
part.
So this is Oh man.
So something like Shooty Booty would not be a good name for a beer. You almost spit took too. That was so funny. I don't know if the camera was on that. We'll have to look back at the tape.
I have two politicians that I would love to name a beer after.
Who's that?
Two politicians.
Rob Ford, former mayor of Toronto.
What would you call it?
I don't think
Crack
he cares.
cocaine's a hell of a drug. It could be a white
Is
stout.
that nicely? Oh,
I mean,
white stout.
A
Okay.
white stout,
all
white
right.
cocaine stout.
Cocaine stout. I don't think they'll get past the TTB. Just saying.
It's Canadian TTB, so
Yeah.
it might.
Okay, they're
might.
a little
It might.
lenient.
They're
More,
nice.
They might be a little more lenient
Yeah.
in Canada.
And there's a guy, he's been in prison. His name's Jim Trafficant from Ohio. He has the world's worst toupee / Elvis impersonator appearance.
Oh God.
And he went to jail for some corruption stuff.
Surprise,
he used
surprise.
to be like one of Jon Stewart's favorite people to talk about on the Daily Show. It's just terrible. So I would call it like Ohio's Most Wanted.
I love how you say
God,
it in
this guy's
jail,
toupee is
and I just
horrible.
assumed it was Kwame.
Oh, right.
To be honest, I don't know if you guys remember from the 2008 Stanley Cup championship team. While Kwame was
He owes a
still-
lot of us a fucking beer.
Yeah.
He owes everyone
He owes
a beer.
everybody a beer.
The beer is still on him. If you
Yeah.
YouTube it, that like celebration. The
beer's on me.
The beer is on me. That's it. Yeah. So I mean, Kwame's free beer would. I mean, that's not a nice thing. See, if I do something, I always feel like it'd have to be like an alliteration. So like I would call it like the Bernie Bro Brute IPA.
Oh, Jim Trafficant died.
Yeah, he died. He passed away in 2014, dude.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
His toupee kind of reminds me. Oh God, Ken has taken the headphones off, folks. He's the only one with headphones in this studio, and he's already taking them off.
And I didn't really.
Look who's right below him. Rob Ford. Google had the same thought that I did.
Good Lord. See, I didn't even think of an answer for myself for this question, but the best that I could come up with now, just like off the top of my head, was like a stabbing brow.
Stabbing
Debbie
brow.
Stabenow?
Yeah,
Stabbing out.
yeah. That's the best I can come up with.
I mean, you could call it like the Whitmer Wit.
That wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is she a beer drinker? She comes off as one.
She, if I'm not mistaken, she was at the Fall Beer Fest.
Oh.
And she tapped the keg on Saturday.
No, that was Debbie Stabenow.
Was that Debbie Stabenow?
Debbie.
Okay. Never mind. It was Debbie
All
Stabenow.
right, well,
Not Whitmer.
not Whitmer.
I mean, I don't know if it.
I mean, she's young.
I mean, you could do
drink.
something maybe like a NA beer because I don't think Abdul El Sayed drinks beer or alcohol
Right.
for that
Straight
matter.
edge.
Arabic.
Arabic. Hey, yeah, whatever.
I mean, he has the.
I mean, you know what I'm gonna say.
Follows the Muslim beliefs of not drinking
that, yeah,
alcohol.
okay, that's different.
I actually got a little.
respectable.
I got a little sad. Speaking of that, because I did
Classy.
do a install for Toast at a hot dog place in Dearborn that was supposed to be a sports bar without alcohol. So it was supposed to. It was like all kosher or all beef hot dogs in Dearborn. So it was trying to attract the Middle Eastern crowd that doesn't drink but still wants to go to a sports bar.
That's pretty neat.
They're closed. This is a place where you can get
It's
like a
very
foot long
niche
hot dog.
thing to do.
A foot long hot dog, and you can get like mozzarella sticks on it or like a bunch of other.
Sign me up, man.
No.
Sign me up.
No.
Jenna, do you have a politician you want to name a beer
I'm
after?
not really into politics.
That's probably the best thing to say.
So
Yeah, me neither.
no, but I have another question
Yeah.
regarding that. How much are the tickets?
That.
Am I putting
don't
you on the
know.
spot?
I am not sure. I did not.
Because $5 goes toward the pink boots, but how much are the tickets in general? You know, how much is really going for this little furry?
So
critter? It's
so
great.
it is a 20% donation. The brewer will donate $5 from every ticket and $1. Oh, sorry, $5 from every ticket, $1 from every where there are 9 sold pink boots. But I don't see a price for the actual tickets
Right.
itself. So
We have
that
to-
is definitely, I don't know. We're getting this from the drinksbusiness.com website. You can check it out. Apparently, they even have an app for at least Android. But this isn't. I can't give you an answer to that. Sorry.
I guess I'll
Maybe next week.
do some digging. I'll see if I can
2
find
weeks.
something during
2 weeks.
the
Oh,
break.
2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. Next week is me again.
Right.
Video.
All right.
You were there. The photos prove it.
Going on. I guess a question. Have any of you ever thought of drinking while grocery shopping?
Oh, I do that all the
you're
time at
talking
Giant
about
Eagle.
Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Like just going on and just doing some grocery shopping, and it's just, you know what? I'm going to have a pint while I'm doing some grocery shopping.
I think I've been
Dangerous.
kicked out of the store for doing that.
So...
Giant Eagle does that in Ohio, and I
So
do that when I'm in Ohio.
a Whole Foods in Massachusetts, just outside of Boston in Sudbury, they're looking at trying to get a restaurant pouring license so that they are able to serve beer while people can grocery shop.
There already
yeah.
are.
Now, there already are
Whole
here,
Foods Detroit
Yeah.
but
used to be able to
apparently
do it.
in Massachusetts,
Or
that
used to
is
do it.
not a very big thing. It is not very common out there.
Damn Puritans.
And yeah, exactly. You know,
Damn.
Gotta go
Boston
home,
Cake.
drink your beer.
so
I mean, that's why like Baltimore
Mm-hmm.
still has like no sales on Sunday laws in regards to.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is that still a thing?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I flew in on Sunday and had a whole day to do stuff, and I didn't do anything because I couldn't.
Set in your hotel
Well,
room?
I went to bars, but I couldn't like bring any beer home, or bring any beer to my hotel room, so I had to wait till Monday to do it. And by that time,
This is
like,
craziness.
I lived in Baltimore for 6 weeks. And
Wow.
I moved there on a Sunday. And I went to the Walmart to buy a bottle of wine and some beer for
There's
the,
two mistakes right there.
for the person that
Baltimore, Walmart.
was. So
maybe it was
couldn't find a place-
Baltimore.
I couldn't find a place that would serve or that would sell me alcohol on a Sunday. So I figured Walmart, they have to have everything. I might as well go there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, why can't I buy alcohol? They're like, it's Sunday. And why are you at Walmart to buy alcohol? I'm like, well, I'm from Detroit. Everything.
I mean, that's
You can buy liquor anywhere.
see as a Steelers fan, the only thing that good that comes out of Baltimore was The Wire. That's about it. For those who are fans of that show, it's still the greatest of all time. Fight me.
I definitely learned the love for Natty Bo in Baltimore, and definitely drank the shit out of it at the bars. I also went to their Mexican village when I was in Baltimore, which is in like the North Baltimore area, and it was the food was amazing, but I was definitely intoxicated by the time I got to that area. Because I had just been drinking. Like, I went to, on accident, an Under Armour after party where they were paying for the tab, but I knew it was there.
Did they keep telling you that you needed to protect that house?
I knew it was. I knew where the party was, and I just showed up and I didn't was like, oh, I'm part of Under Armour. No, I just showed up to drink, and my tab was paid for.
Nice.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I
so-
definitely do that a lot more than I should.
So with this Whole Foods, they're trying to get this restaurant pouring license. The problem that they have right now is that the city is at their maximum in terms of liquor licenses.
Ooh.
So they're kind of at a
How do you have
crossroads
a
right now.
maximum?
Michigan has maximum.
Yeah.
Counties have maximum. Yeah.
Huh.
So they're kind of stuck right now, and I mean, there's really no update as far as whether or not they're going to be able to push through and get one. But it looks like Massachusetts is trying to kind of push through. But kind of alluding to all of your points about, you know, our Whole Foods and there's a couple Krogers that I believe that serve as well. Have you guys drank and grocery shopped
Yes.
at the same time?
No.
Yes. 2, what I would love is if you could have the places that have bars inside malls be able to have
Oregon
to
has
go.
that.
Do they really?
Yeah, I think they have little
Like if-
bars in even in like the little shopping centers, like a Whole Foods kind of place, but not a Whole Foods. But
So, like, if I went to Great Lakes Crossing and I went to that Garth Brooks bar,
Toby Keith bar.
sure.
It's called I Love This Bar. It got shut down 5
I
years ago.
love this bar.
I was the account representative for it. I had to go in there and steal all of our tap handles out.
What's so
True story.
that's hysterical. It's been a minute since I've been to Great Lakes Crossing, let alone
Clearly.
drank there. But in regards to that, okay, do they have like a rainforest cafe that serves
They
booze
do.
there?
I don't know if they. Yeah, I believe so. But they also
Okay.
have like a Bar Louie right across
yeah,
the
Bar
street.
Louie. So like
Or not
take
across
take
the
the
courtyard.
alcohol and leave and be able to go to like GameStop.
Oh, just like walk around.
Or-
That would be
I mean,
fantastic.
22-year-olds
Shop for
would buy the
clothes.
shit out of Hot Topic.
I mean, but that's the thing is that if I could,
Yeah.
you know, if I could, like I was shopping and I used to go.
Forever 21.
So when I was married and I would go to Great Lakes and go to places like Forever 21 and I'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
sitting there waiting and waiting. And
No, I make him
waiting.
come in.
I mean, if you're waiting there,
Well,
and
no.
you're waiting
I,
for the shopping to
that's
be done.
I'm waiting inside the store.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if I
I'd
had
drag
a
him
beer-
around with me.
If
Could
I
you
had a
imagine
beer,
the things
It
that would
would
happen
be
at
so
Victoria's
much
Secret?
better.
if there was a
Yeah.
bar?
what's that,
Things that
Matt?
would happen at Victoria's Secret if there was a bar.
Oh, that's just dangerous. No.
No, that would not be acceptable.
No, that is in no way, shape, or form would that be ever acceptable.
No couples are
there would
allowed.
There would be a bouncer at the door.
I mean, to be
You cannot
honest,
bring
though,
that
like
alcohol in
as
here.
a person who's been selling for all the shops that aren't selling the alcohol, if you're like getting everyone's inhibitions a little loose, they might be a little more loose about buying things. They might buy more things. There'd probably have to be a few like general rules, like you can't buy a gun over at like.
but I mean, they
what's
may-
what's
Gander
that
Mountain?
Field and not Field and
Field and
Dreams.
Stream.
Field and Stream.
Cabela's?
No, it's not them. No, it's not
Cabela's?
Cabela's. What's that? Great Outdoors.
Sure.
Sure.
REI, Gander Mountain.
No, it's like I think it's called Bass Pro Shops. There you
Bass
go.
Pro Shop. Okay.
I don't remember.
The other
That's
one.
how I know.
I just remember that's the store I always walked into to get into the mall.
But also think about it this way. I mean, you work in point of sale, so you know the
Yes.
struggle. If you buy something and you're drunk, you're more likely to return it than you already are. And you know the chargebacks, fees, and all those refund fees that would
I
cost,
do,
so-
but the big thing in regards to chargebacks that's changed is EMV. And when you have EMV readers at a store, chargebacks are almost impossible to do. That is so if you go to and I'll bring up the group just because they're Toast customers and I know them. So One Eyed Betty's, Rosie O'Grady's, Pops for Italian, and Rosie O'Grady's Chesterfield. So they have handhelds. So in regards to chargebacks and EMVs, you can't do a chargeback without like proof of the chargeback. So if you go in there and you charge something and they have your signature and they have you signing it with their credit card right in front of them.
I mean, like
on
returns, refunds, stuff like
Well,
that. Not necessarily like
yeah, but
fraud.
at what point are you going to return unless you're doing like big ticket items?
Well, my
Like
thought-
I'm not going to return a $10 shirt if I walk out and go
mean,
back because especially for
This is a female
place,
thing. This is a female thing. Females
but a
like
place
to buy.
like that's kind of sexist.
Okay,
That's a
wait
little
a minute.
misogynist.
I worked at CVS.
I love when Matt gets corrected.
And
This is
I
amazing.
cannot tell you the amount of times I've had people come in there and try to return things, male and female alike, with or without a receipt, and you had to do it. But it's small items, JCPenney as well. I mean, small items, things that kind of go under the radar, but then you recognize the people that do it. And it's the people that do small items consistently,
They go and they
not
buy
the
it.
big ticket items.
They go and they buy it for cheaper somewhere else,
the
and then
small
Or
return
they
items
it.
don't
too.
buy it.
Well, that too.
Small items just add up.
Yeah, and there's policies and procedures at all these stores in regards to that. But I think even if you add alcohol, I don't think you're going to get too crazy of like change in regards to this is how many returns you're going to have. Sure, you might have a few more, but I think you're going to have a bigger sales portfolio than you're going to have a return portfolio from those sales.
I mean, I might be more willing to buy something if I'm a little looser, and I might be happy that I bought it because I might not have bought it if I were completely sober.
But how loose can be too loose? Because a lot of these grocery stores have become the everything center because, for those who are not in the Midwest area, we've got Meijer, which, is a grocery store, has clothing, has
Yeah,
a
but
pharmacy. I mean,
electronics.
if somebody has way too many,
Hardware.
somebody starts
Like a
trying
Walmart.
things on right at the rack. And that could get completely out of hand.
I'm going to ask an honest question from you guys. Have you ever gone into a store, put on a piece of clothing, and walked out with that piece of clothing,
No.
paying
Never.
for it? Really?
Never.
No way.
I've done that like
What I have done is I've gone to a hospital, like or an outpatient place, gotten their scrubs and worn them out under my jeans because they were so comfy.
So the
That's
first.
fucking weird.
I've heard of that before.
So this would have been last year. So I was in Asheville last year. And I went to, I was doing an install at whatever restaurant I was at, and my pants ripped all the way down the seam. Like, ain't gonna be fixed. I don't have another pair of pants at this moment because I just don't, like, I bring my one pair of jeans and that's it. So I go to Walmart. I buy the pants, put them on, they fit, put my belt on, walk up to the person at the register with a tag, and she looks at me and I'm like, I'm wearing them. And she goes, why? And I show her like the hole, like I put my hand through the hole, and she's like, oh, okay.
I think that's acceptable.
That's
but if you were
acceptable,
just like
yes.
to put on a hoodie or something over what you're wearing and then just kind of walk out.
Well, no. I'm not talking about stealing. I'm talking about
Well, they're
like,
talking
oh,
about
this is
theft.
so
You're
comfortable.
talking
Yeah,
about- you're
yeah.
talking
I
about
think
paying for
we
it.
all thought
Right.
Yeah.
theft initially.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
I've
I
never
mean,
done that.
when
That's
people
why I
go
told you my
to-
theft story.
When people go to shoe stores, some people like to walk out with their shoes.
Oh,
And
I've done that,
I
especially
get
with my
that.
giant-ass
I think
feet.
I just don't get the going into a store with clothing. It for some reason it just feels different.
Like I've gone to the New Balance store and I'm like, what do you have in 14.4E? And they bring about one box. And they're like, this is all we got. And I'm like, well, I guess this is what I'm buying today.
But I mean, we've talked about, kind of getting back to the subject, we've talked about the idea of having open carry laws.
You want Greektown to be open carry.
I want the whole city of Detroit to be open carry.
Well, I
you
mean,
want to be
yeah,
able
at
to just
least.
drink wherever.
I want to be able to go to a bar, pay an extra
gotta
dollar
start-
for
we
the
gotta start
cost.
somewhere,
Can we at
though.
least do like 75 M10, 375 Jefferson?
Yeah, like have a little.
Yeah, how about South 94 to the riverfront?
Right, yeah, but I think you have to kind of start small.
Or
and by
75
doing that,
to
you
the
gotta
river.
start at Greektown because that's where, that's where the most
Or
people.
Eastern Market.
Okay, Greektown or Eastern
Small
Market, you
areas.
start there and you test it. And if it works there, then you go to the.
But honestly, I think it should even happen in the suburbs. Like, I'm all for my community being like having a bar district. Like Royal Oak's a great situation.
Sure.
Have a bar district where there's no cars, so
Yeah.
people aren't walking into cars. Where you pay an extra dollar
Yeah.
for that one drink. That enables you to take that drink because it's got a yellow band across the lip, and you can go out in the street and drink there. And then you throw it away, and then if you wanna, you go to the next bar. You want to walk again, you buy.
I think a great place to do that, because it wouldn't be as big as downtown Ferndale if you could figure out a way to like one
Circumnavigate 9
parking,
and Woodward.
two circumnavigate 9 and Woodward. Yeah. Because I mean the big thing, especially for Ferndale, is you're shutting down Woodward. But for Royal Oak, like that area is a pretty big area. And it's going to be hard to contain in regards to.
I don't think that you could shut down the parking in Royal Oak, but you could
they're
allow
taking
people.
away the parking. You're shutting it down
I'm sorry.
by not
Yeah.
providing
I don't mean like. I don't.
I think he means shutting down like Main Street.
Yeah, I don't think you would-
Everything around
there's-
Main
it's-
Street is open.
At some
but
point, for all of the out of town listeners on the show, Royal Oak is
a half mile
is
long.
about from the Royal Oak studio.
No, from downtown Royal Oak.
Downtown, yeah.
Imagine downtown Las Vegas, but instead of casinos, it's just bars, and it's one street of bars.
and restaurants.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yes. So
But isn't that what like Bourbon Street is though too?
I've never been to
I was
Bourbon
just
Street.
gonna say,
Lee.
Bourbon
like, if-
Street is
I haven't been to no.
Go to Mardi Gras.
So my wife and I, we were in New Orleans a couple years ago. We went there for, unfortunately, the Lions game. They lost. And
Saw that coming.
Bourbon Street, it's bars, it's restaurants, but really, actually, Bourbon Street in general is literally just bar after bar after bar after bar, and even the block north and block south, same thing. And you see people walking up and down the street. Actually, you can go down towards where Mercedes-Benz Superdome is, and you see people walking around freely with beers right there. Even the main drag where the
To be honest,
trolley
I mean,
cars
when we
running,
went to,
going and going, they're drinking on the main drag,
And their bars don't close.
and the bars don't close.
I mean, we did that like when we did the thing at Eastern Market Brewing Company, not this past season, but the year before. We loaded up with drinks, and we started walking down from Eastern Market Brewing to
Yeah,
Fort
but
Field.
Oh, was that for a special event though?
All of those everything we did there was
tailgate.
illegal.
Yeah, everything we did. Yeah. There wasn't a single legal thing we did.
think the DPD probably does.
As long as it contained chaos, it's fine.
As long it's that's what it is. If DPD can contain the
Don't
chaos,
be blatant.
What's
don't
that?
Don't be blatant. Don't
be
be stupid. Don't be drunk.
Don't be stupid. That's what it really, because we got another holiday coming up here downtown Detroit very soon. Opening day.
Oh.
1 week. It's literally next week, and everyone and their mother is going to
opening
take
day is going to be in Toronto this year, so it'll be in April actually.
whenever the next home game is.
Just so you know,
whenever the first home game is,
April 5th.
It's a holiday in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like any other, for whatever reason.
Cincinnati's the only other city.
I mean, I wouldn't know. But opening day in Detroit, it's chaos.
Yeah,
people are drinking in the streets. People are calling in off work. It's almost like a mini Mardi Gras.
So we're about to take a quick break, but I'll tell you real quick in regards to opening day, because there was I want to say it was 2015. It was opening day, and by chance, if opening day, which was a Monday, it could have corresponded with Michigan State playing that night for the finals of an NCAA tournament.
Oh,
so I was at a bar downtown at McShane's over in Corktown.
Love
Yeah.
McShane's.
So Michigan and Trumbull.
Yep.
You want to talk about an opening day party? You go to McShane's.
Yes.
We got. Yeah.
So they closed at 6 that day p.m. because
they were out of beer.
Well, not they're out of beer, but the fact that they had nobody else. Nobody else was going to come downtown. But the servers were going crazy. Because when I trained them prior to Michigan State being eliminated, they're just like, man, if Michigan State doesn't get eliminated, we're going to be here from fucking 7 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Imagine the cash they'd be rolling in.
That's the thing is that you're not going to give up your tables. You're not going to give up your spots.
No. I mean,
because of a game, so you're going to work that whole time. You're going to have a crazy.
Oh, totally.
Day.
I mean, that's unfortunately that's the nature of the beast of being in the food industry.
And people want to drink, and they're going to be out there,
especially in
they're
Detroit.
not burning couches.
Yes.
These aren't the banks of the Red Sea.
So we are going to take a quick break, folks. We will be right back with 5 questions. 5 questions.
5 questions.
With the Better on Draft podcast.
I say anything, Cusack, no news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How can I know John Cusack? You whack. Say, how can I know John Cusack? You whack.
You can catch me at the grocery store hosiery aisle. Over my shoulder, smiles and chattering. Trying to find the pads with wings, the right brand, the rice brand. Brandishing the nicest price tag. Just make sure it's organic, gluten-free, and comes from Iceland. More in common with Streisand and Seinfeld, the most who rhyme well. More comfortable in delis and wine cellars and at the shelter. Eat, smelt, and gefelter with Sarah Michelle Gellar's assistants. All my relatives distant. Always felt like the misfit. Now I miss shit. Like eating Bisquick and Count Chocula. Been having super high cholesterol since colostrum. My intelligence, the benefit of my genetics, but the cost of them is feeling I'll be accosted in a Holocaust every autumn. Official stories never bought them. Swimming in white water with Hillary Rodham while Bill went with Sodom to Nolan Richardson's office. Watching Corliss Williamson jogging in hog heaven. Augment the nog head trip with nuggets and chocolate. Cogswell Cogs, Gracely Boggs, Spacely Sprockets. With only change in our pockets, it only changes in pockets. Gentrification, the pain and the coccyx, the coxswain is intoxicated. Headed straight for the rocks. Rocks is straight, it still blocks the concentration. Constellation at the top of the Pontchartrain. Who could really say, kid?
Yo, I don't know. Who could really say, kid?
I say anything, Cusack, no news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How can I know John Cusack? You whack. Say, how can I know John Cusack? Yeah. It's that Kurt Cobain, he did it for the corny love. So it's fuck, so we scoring drugs out the front door of clubs, of which we might see a portion of large, extra large, cause I'm sort of chub. I'm giving y'all raised hands more to touch. Somebody's in the kitchen with the Dinosaur, order up. I I'm trying to break down these borders before I shuffle off this mortal clutch. Wifey supports, I guess she don't think we poor enough. Pouring order, foreign rum imported for us for a clutch. We don't use a fourth of the fortune that's afforded us. At least we know that. Growth rap, focus on the whole map. Global view like I was a part of that Apollo program. Crook, not a Rollo throwback. Got couple ton of old hands. You never watch show raps at show pad. I told your ass, I wanna hold hands, whatever. Slow dance or something. Hold hands while I smartphone low maps. Like we don't know they low jacks. Oh snap, broken envelope drop like Bilbo's token. Fuck 'em open now, robe exposing no skin. Gross point blank stare going over all shit.
I say anything. No news. That's good. That's good. How you not know John Cusack?
Yo.
You whack. How you not know? You whack.
I say anything, Cusack, no news, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. How you not know John Cusack? You whack.
You whack.
Say, how you not know John Cusack?
You whack.
I say anything, Cusack, no news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How you not know John Cusack? You whack. So how you not know John Cusack?
Okay, buddy. I was just trying to cheer us up, so go ahead. Put on some old sad bastard music, see if I can. I don't want to hear old sad bastard music, Barry. I just want something I can ignore. Here's the thing. I made that tape special for today. My special Monday morning tape for you. Special!
It's fucking Monday afternoon. You should get out of bed earlier.
Come on, dude.
I am back, Better on Draft Podcast, episode 170. And it's going to be one of those traditional shows. We have no guests, so we're going to go right into segment 3 with Matt Bush, 5 questions.
Oh, hey! We're actually going to pass the baton today.
It's no longer 5 questions with
Is it
Matt
4
Bush.
questions?
It's
3
4K
questions?
amount of... Did you
Still
have the mystery
5
beer?
questions.
Yeah. Robert?
But is it...
Robert has a mystery beer?
Calling him Robert now. Damn.
I'm a part of the show.
Yeah,
you've hidden...
Yeah, you're...
You've hidden the beer?
There's no...
I hid
Look,
it.
what I say, there's
Mystery
no
beer.
rules. You're
Look
good.
at her. She's got the little...
It's wild.
Wow, she actually did like some effort in like concealing.
It's not
that.
green painter's tape.
Shit, we got a mystery beer. So I've got some cups over here.
Shit. All right.
So cup for you.
Cup for me.
Cup for me.
Here, I
Matt,
got you.
Here, I need a cup for Rob.
Matt,
I
do you
need a
know what
cup
the
for-
mystery
Here,
beer
give me a
is,
cup.
Matt?
I have no idea.
All
That's
right,
the only thing I
give
don't
me
know
a
is
cup.
the mystery
I
beer.
gave it to Rob. Give me mine.
There you go.
I got one.
I feel so like there's shoes on the other foot right now.
So, do we have a geography question first?
Yes.
Of course.
All right, so Jenna's going to give the bottle to
5 questions
Matt.
with
We'll
Jenna.
start pouring it for
I will
ourselves.
handle this and you handle the questions.
And Jenna will start with 5 questions.
Uh-oh, it's Matt's favorite. It's dark.
I think I already know what it is.
All right, so this is my first time doing this. Cut
That's
me some
okay.
slack.
Don't worry.
all right.
You always remember your
So,
first.
which state has the most breweries that allow dogs? This is a multiple choice question, okay?
Most states that allow breweries with dogs.
Nope, not at all. Which state?
Most
failed.
breweries in a state that allow dogs.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
said.
All right. Okay. Multiple choice. Here we go.
Kind of backwards.
Colorado,
Colorado.
Washington,
Washington.
California,
Cali.
or Oregon?
Well, I mean, we're going with big brewery states: Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and California.
And they're
So
all fairly progressive.
they're all West Coast.
You
They're all
don't say.
Except
progressive.
for Denver.
I mean,
Denver's super
very.
progressive.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean it's west, but it's
Yeah.
not West Coast.
I mean, they smoke weed every day. I mean, they're very
Okay,
progressive.
Dre.
Yeah, they
Thanks, Rob Dog.
for
Thank
a state like ours, where out of all the proposals that came through, weed was the most, all of them passed, but weed was the least passed of
Yeah.
all of them. Yeah. So I have absolutely no idea. So I'm just gonna go. Or we'll probably just do a general consensus
Sure.
once we figure it out. I'm gonna go with Oregon.
I'm actually going to go Oregon, too.
Can you read the question back one more time?
Yeah. Which state has the most breweries that allow dogs?
Here's what I'm going to do. Most breweries, the state with the most breweries
Wait,
is
state
going to
with
be
the most breweries, not
that allow
average.
dogs.
Oh.
That allow dogs.
Right.
So,
So they have to
by
allow
population alone,
dogs.
I'm going to go California by default.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
See,
It's not
but
a bad choice,
but I
but
feel
that's the thing.
I feel like that's a sucker answer right
Plus,
there. I feel like that's trying to suck you in.
What the answer? What is C on there?
What is C?
The answer is always C.
He's going the C route.
What is this, a meat
As
test?
someone who's written questions, the answer is always B
What
or
is this,
C.
the ACT?
Right, but you're not writing the questions.
I know,
this week,
but
this is why when I write questions, I specifically write questions so that the answer is A or D because everybody thinks the answer is C.
I did a test one time. I'm trying to think of it was an American history test, and every single answer on the test was B. It was a 20 question test. Every answer was B, and you could tell like as we're taking the test, like eyes are up, like what's going on, like you could see
This
and you
can't
could
be right.
Exactly. So the questions you don't know, you're like, well, it can't be B here if it's B.
Right.
I don't know.
If it was per capita, I would go with Oregon, but because it's just a gross number, I'm
still gonna stick with Oregon.
I'm gonna stick with Oregon too.
I'm gonna get outvoted, but I feel like it's Colorado just because of like the sheer number of breweries that are in the Denver area.
Well, we have
and just the
a Colorado, a Cali, and 2 Oregon. So our official answer has got to be Oregon.
It's Colorado.
Oh,
really?
Rob, with the
Nice job, Rob.
So Colorado, which was A, has 69. Washington has 29.
Oh.
California has 57, and Oregon has 30.
You picked the low man on the totem pole.
What does it matter? 2, 3, and 4 are still wrong no matter what you pick.
Yeah. You were like more.
You don't get like partial credit. Gosh.
See what happens? This is what happens.
Yeah.
I get outvoted.
From one trivia host.
All right. Question 2. What animal do you find most on beer labels?
On beer labels?
Mhm.
What animal?
So this is kind of a 2-part question.
What?
Okay. What's the first?
Or
what's the second
two
part?
answer question, I mean.
What
most
animal?
found on
Dog?
beer labels.
Beer labels. I mean, that's what's the second part like?
It's not a 2-part question, a 2-part answer.
2-part answer. Like, is it a 2?
So there's 2 answers to
Okay,
this
so
question.
I would say.
So it's a tie for first. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay.
So I want to say. I want to say dog.
It seems like there are
Is an
a
easy
lot
one.
of. It feels like there are breweries that do a lot. I mean, for some reason, like when you said dog, I'm thinking Baffin.
That was my
because of
first
Baffin
thought was
and
Baffin
how
Brewing.
their tribute to their dog.
And then you have Brooks.
And you have Brooks.
You have Paw Paw.
Paw Paw.
Keep in mind, this is national. This is not
Yeah.
just
True, yeah,
Michigan.
but-
It's
but I mean, dog's definitely a very, very.
I mean, it's not cross-dressing people in a.
I mean, that's not an animal.
It's not an
Hazel's
animal,
nuts.
but it
That-
is a
that looks
pretty
like
cool
that's from
label.
American
Hazel's
Horror
nuts is-
Story circus or
It's
whatever.
an animal. It's a human.
All right.
Or here we go.
So
It's
in
not like this fly from Bee Nectar.
maybe it's an insect.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go off the
Dog's got to be one of them.
I'm
Right.
gonna go with like a frog or I want to go with like a reptile or amphibian because of
Snake?
iguanas, hopping
not gonna
frog,
be a
hopping
snake.
frog brewing. Like there's a lot more.
Well, let's do the question one more time. What is the
What animal,
animal?
paren S, do you find most on beer labels? This is
Okay.
a 2-answer question, so,
So
it's tied
dogs-
for the top 2.
I mean, every
Or tied for
single
the top.
hop and frog label has a frog.
Yeah.
So I mean that kind of like really. I'm sure there's definitely other labels that involve a snake or
It's a snake.
Well, hold on. Dogfish Head has a fish on it.
a fish. Yep.
Get off the dog thing. Get off.
I think dog's got to be one of them. Though.
I want to either go. It's gonna be fish or like iguana or frog.
So I guess
I
the
just feel like
question we have to ask is fish an answer? Like, is fish an acceptable answer? Or do we need to be very
need
specific about the
species.
fish?
It's a very vague answer.
I'm going with fish.
I think maybe fish and dog.
Dogfish? Dogfish head.
I'm thinking dog. So
Dog,
Dog and
fish,
fish.
fish. Do you have another answer, Matt? An idea? Or
I just feel like with common animals nationally,
Dogs are cuddly, but Dogfish Head has a fish on all of the labels.
We're not arguing
We're not
with
saying
Right.
no, man.
No. I'm just saying if
But-
you're
but
saying
you're
fish,
saying fish.
she's saying there's two
There's two
animals.
answers.
So maybe it is dog and fish.
Could it be cat dog?
Cat dog.
Slowly the world of a little cat dog.
All right, fucking. Wait, how do you know that?
90s cartoons,
That
baby.
show came out in your 40s.
Bitch, I still watch cartoons. I was watching Full Metal Alchemist before I got here.
All right, that's like a level beyond. Yeah.
I don't even
All
know
right,
what you
so
just
the
said to me.
answers.
So we're gonna say fish and dog.
Fish and dog.
Sea creatures.
Sea creatures.
So
fish.
fish.
Okay.
And dogs.
And dogs.
Yeah.
I'll at your boy when you see him in the street.
Good job. So dogs and fish. Good job. All right,
Shout out to
so
Buddy over at Brooks.
All right.
mystery beer.
Mystery beer.
All right, mystery beer.
I think that's actually what I've just been sipping on
Is it?
and not even thinking about it.
Okay, all right.
It's very
All right.
stouty, but
I will
very
find
thin.
this. Okay.
I get a little coffee, a little
bit.
milk.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like a thin version of the Devil Dog.
Anybody
Maybe it is
have
devil dog and
any
not, like,
clues
French.
on what it is?
So we get 3 questions.
3 questions.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Okay.
Well,
I guess, and I thought.
So
do we
so-
not get whether it's Michigan beer or national or?
Oh no,
or
we
we're
still
gonna actually
get
have to
so
ask this one?
so we get 3 questions to ask you. They have to be yes or no questions.
Okay.
And the first automatic, so it's not part of the 3, is this a Michigan craft beer?
Yes.
Okay. So we get to ask 3 questions. It could be geography based. It
Okay.
can be based on a brewer, a name, does it have this letter in the name? Like trying to break it down in regards to
Okay.
what we're seeing. So if you don't know where the brewer is located, you may need.
I got you.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. And we're talking like freeways and stuff too, so you need to know where
Oh,
freeways
shit.
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Pull up
yeah.
Google Maps.
Maybe,
I was gonna say generally
you
the
know,
first.
You could go to mibeermap.com and you
Oh.
can find the Better
all right.
on Draft beer map.
Yes. Generally, our first question will be a geography question, and we
So
may
let's-
center
let's-
around a couple freeways. So
Let's
definitely
let
bring that up
her-
on a map.
Let's let her bring it up on the map.
Got it.
Real quick. So our breaks were brought to you by the Ferndale set, and while the music was not from the Ferndale set, they are a great sponsor of us, and we appreciate them giving us free music to play during our breaks, so you can listen to it while we are live, as well as during the breaks. Go check them out at the Ferndale set. They are all local Metro Detroit bands,
Play some
and you
pretty
can
good
see
music,
them
too.
live. Yeah, so we got Brother Sun on there, and what you actually heard for this show was a band called LXL, which you could have seen over at the Hamtramck Music Festival recently. But they definitely do a lot of tours. Go to Facebook and search LXL, and you can find them out. Jenna, are you ready for our questions?
Yep.
All right. I'm getting a very, very light milk, a light stout. I don't know what it could be.
Is it me? But on the nose, I feel like I get a light coconut.
Very light.
Yeah.
Very light.
Very light.
Yes.
Maybe Black Rocks? Black Rocks has got the coconut. Matt, I mean, you're part of this now.
talking about the
Hello,
coconut
well,
brown?
Yeah, now you're on the
welcome
other
to
side.
This side of this.
Taste this shit, motherfucker.
So here's a
Payback.
It's a super light milk stout.
So hold on. It came from a glass bottle. Black Rocks
Cans.
Black Rock is cans, yes.
Yep. Okay.
So Black Rocks is out.
I'm gonna hold on. So I'm gonna. Can I lead? Can I do this?
You know what? You can do it. I
All
believe
right.
in you. I believe in you.
Wait. Oddside fan.
Come on. Can I again?
Let's let Matthew have
Go
this.
ahead.
Let's let Matt have
This is fun.
Is this a
like, I got all the
beer?
power.
Is this a beer from what would be called West Michigan?
What
Would you consider this beer from West Michigan?
How about west of a
let's say
freeway?
west
of a freeway.
So
west of 69.
Yeah.
West of
Wait.
Grand Rapids.
west
No,
of
no.
No,
West
no,
of-
no.
Let's
Okay, fine. Okay, there.
Yes. West of 69.
So
what
it's
you said.
Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Traverse City.
Reaching.
Okay. Now,
For all you Office fans,
gonna
that
try
was a
this
Michael
again.
Scott joke.
is this a
a terrible
brewery that we have?
I said that's a terrible show.
Blasphemy.
Is this a show?
I
What are you
can't
gonna
talk to you
What are you gonna
anymore.
do? This is my show.
It's my show now, too.
That is
You're
true.
not in the intro
He owns
yet.
his
I haven't
shit.
paid for it.
He owns
All right,
his
hold on.
shit.
So
Wait
I'm
for
gonna
a couple months.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary right away. I'm gonna shoot for the end zone.
Okay.
Is this a brewery that we've mentioned on the show today?
Brewery that we mentioned on the show today.
Correct.
I mean, do you remember all the breweries we've mentioned on the show today?
I don't.
No, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, so
it's
obviously it's not
not
Odd Side. It's not Right Brain.
Sorry, bud.
It's not Arc Light.
It's not Arc Light. It's not One Well.
It's not 424.
Not 424.
242.
424 also cans.
Atwater, maybe?
Atwater is not west of 69.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
I mean,
Austin, Texas.
Hold on.
they're not in Austin, but they
Michigan
are
beer.
in Grand Rapids,
Michigan
but they don't
beer.
brew there.
All right. So let me.
I have a feeling I know what this is,
Okay.
but I have. It's a very specific question. I don't want to waste it yet.
I would say because
Well, we only have 3 questions.
We're on the last
Yeah,
question.
we're definitely on our last question, and I think this is a good question because I think it'll not necessarily like bring it, but I think it'll it'll either deny me or allow us to at least get to where we are.
All right. No. Well,
So
you gotta
we
throw it.
talk west of Michigan or west of 69. Is this brewery in Metro GR or Metro Kalamazoo?
No.
Damn.
I think it's Beam Me Up Stouty from Saugatuck.
I've never had it,
Never had it.
so
That's my guess. Like I think out of because like I was like I felt like it was, but I was like, oh, there's so many great breweries in Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo and all
mean,
these places that
the only thing I can say
Oh,
is
wait.
that I know
Wait, wait,
Saugatuck.
Oh.
Wait.
she's. You have very
Double-
long fingernails.
double
Just
checking.
trim them. It makes it easier to.
I got it.
Oh,
It's west of Kalamazoo.
west of I mean,
But
Saugatuck's
I don't
still
know what that would.
Saugatuck.
That's
Yeah.
still Saugatuck.
Okay.
Hold
I
on.
mean,
But could it be New
Saugatuck
Holland?
does- the
Saugatuck's
only thing I can tell you is that Saugatuck does bottle.
New Holland? Bottles?
New Holland is not
Holland.
west of Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
In regards to bottling, west of Kalamazoo, and it's not Odd Side.
Right brain? Don't sleep on the north side of
Right
this.
Brain is
Right
not
Brain,
west of Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo.
Paw.
Because no.
Hold on,
Pawpaw is up in
Hold on.
GR and it's not
Geographically
west of
speaking,
Kalamazoo.
First of all,
Travis-
New
West
Holland.
of Kazoo.
New Holland is west of Kalamazoo. It's just northwest of Kalamazoo.
Oh.
What did you just say?
New Holland is northwest
okay,
of Kalamazoo.
never mind.
Traverse City is marginally.
Yeah,
on the
she's
same-
not looking at Traverse City. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Southwest.
She's just shaking her head.
So looking west of Kalamazoo on the map, we have Pawpaw,
Arclight,
No, we haven't met South Haven. What's in South Haven?
South Haven Brewery. There's not much. There's nothing with distro.
Okay.
Saugatuck's over there because South Haven's over by Saugatuck, Douglas. I really think it's Beam Me Up Stouty.
I'll defer to.
I gotta go with you because I mean I have no
I don't
idea
know.
what this is.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna dissent in our Supreme Court opinion and say this might be a New Holland, but I have ruined everything with us by asking all the questions. So
I mean, you ruined everything with us by joining the show.
that is the truth.
I love you.
Yeah, we can
Call
go back
me.
to that Red Wings. We can go back to that
Dick
Red Wings
Kicker Malt
episode.
Liquor right over here. So
Call me the
our
DKML of
final
Better on
answer
Draft.
is
Beam Me Up Stouty.
That's what we're
Jenna?
gonna go with.
No.
No.
Oh, damn.
pull out the label.
All right, go ahead and
right.
take that label off.
We got
we
the
got?
label.
Well, it
Ryan,
doesn't-
Ryan, get ready.
Oh.
No, no, it's not.
No way.
No, it's not. This is the
I'm so upset.
So it's Pawpaw's what?
Vanilla bean porter.
I wasn't here for
your
Pawpaw,
favorite.
so I don't know why you're
right. That
Yeah,
was the show that
favorite.
I was taking care. Oh wow.
I
I mean,
kept with the dog theme.
to be
man.
honest,
You terrible.
Matt did bring up Pawpaw earlier.
He did, and I was like, oh, he's
I
on it.
said paw.
No, he brought up Pawpaw at the beginning of the
We
show.
asked you in the question.
In
Oh, you
Jake's.
did?
You did, yeah.
This is
I didn't
null and
hear
void.
that.
I think
Ignore Matthew.
no.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I
It's
said
all
I
right.
don't remember.
That. Wow.
I wasn't here for that
Very
episode.
impressive on the mystery beer.
Yeah?
All right, what's
Yeah.
question number 4?
Question 4.
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Are you ready for this? Okay.
If you could name a beer after an animal, what would it be?
The beer or the animal?
So hogfish amber is not a good idea because you'll get a C and D for that.
Thanks, dogfish.
So I'll give you an example. Mine would be Great White Shark Sour, brewed with sea salt and cranberry.
That sounds like it has bite.
I mean, you just gotta ask what's in her head. What's in her head? Zombie.
Yeah, zombie.
It's a little cranberries
Zombie.
joke.
Zombie.
There you go. She got it.
Damn it. R.I.P. Dolores.
I've got mine, and it would be the brown trout brown.
Trout?
Trout.
Oh,
brown
trout. Okay.
Trout. It's a fish that swims up in like the lakes of the Great Lakes.
The Great. Okay.
I'm Polish, obviously.
Duh.
And my family's from Alpena, which is known for the Brown Trout Festival. Therefore,
And we know you like brown.
I would go to that too, but I would go to Alpena. I'd make the brown trout brown.
Okay.
So I too have a family with land on water.
I just assume you do something like a cockroach because we can't get rid of you.
This guy's got the deep cuts today, huh? I'd want an all-day fishing beer. So I'd pick like
cockroach Kolsch.
With 2K.
Ryan, could you mute him?
He can't mute me.
2K.
I run this shit.
I would pick like a crappie Kolsch.
Crappy.
Because
Okay.
a crappie's a kind of fish, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
See, we're keeping with fish and dogs right now. Or no,
Dogfish.
Fish. We
Fish.
all have fish.
I mean,
'cause I
we
did
all have
shark.
fish. I don't think a great white
It's
is
not
a form of
not a
the shark
dog.
canine.
Nope.
No.
I think you would have the Robert Brown, right?
Great White's like a band.
Robert Stout.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of thinking
The
of Black
Robert
Bear. I was
Radler?
thinking of Black Bear Stout. Yeah.
Robert Rand.
Why's it
Yeah.
got to be black bear stout?
Yeah, because it's bliggity blaggity bliggity.
Because it's the
black.
sweet.
That's why.
He wants the sweetest juice available.
Nick?
I would name
motherfucker.
one after my dog, Boomer. Name it
Boomer.
like the Boomer Brown or the Boomer Baltic Porter or
The Boomer Brute.
the Boomer Brute
Brute.
for those IPA fans.
The Brute Boomer.
The Brute Boomer.
You'll be like a one of those like fictional cartoon dogs, and he's like all muscly.
Yeah.
like, just walking
Oh,
around.
that would be
like-
cool.
Boomer is when he's like pulling on his rope, he's like full of piss and vinegar, so he is pretty strong for a little 12-pound dog.
So my dog, the dad of my dog was like a fucking cartoon dog with the amount of muscle definition it was. Just like walking around like I'm the fucking
Scrappy
shit,
dude.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Let me at him. Let me at him. Let me at him.
Jenna, we have one more.
One more
Yep.
question. Question number 5.
Okay.
Here we go.
Do you think
No.
that quote unquote dog beer is just a fad, or you think it's here to stay?
What do you mean by dog
What
beer?
is dog,
Dog
beer?
So there are companies around the world that make beer for dogs.
So non-alcoholic.
Right. It's non-alcoholic. It's actually like really nutritious for them. But they call it beer because they use a lot of the same equipment that a brewery does. They just skip the fermentation process.
Right.
So do you think that like having a quote unquote beer with your dog is just a fad, or do you think that that's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay, especially for the way that white women treat their dogs.
Preach it.
Why gotta be white women?
Because it's true.
Who else has a dog in a damn bag?
It's
White
true.
women.
Or
I wish Ryan. I hope.
are you gonna be? Is that dog gonna be drinking his beer while
Want
in
me
the
to do it
stroller?
again?
I hope.
The hair flip.
All right, hold on. We're gonna
Take 3. Ready, Ryan?
Oh, I
The
gotta
far
make sure you
camera.
get
Take-
that, Ryan.
Ryan, I want you to make
1,
sure you're
2,
on
3.
Jenna
Don't
over
even-
here.
All right, ready?
Go.
It's true.
There it is.
Got it, Ryan?
There it is.
Yeah,
Yes, you
okay,
did.
good.
I am definitely cutting that little part right there.
That's
I'm
a
gonna turn
GIF.
into a GIF.
That's a GIF right
Yeah,
there.
And
It's true.
I think
and now on Facebook, whenever somebody says something that I agree
Oh,
with, it's
you
gonna
gotta
be
make sure you
Jenna.
send it
Flip.
to all of us
It's
after the
true.
show.
I can't do it.
I
I don't
think-
have
dog
the
beer
follicles.
is gonna work out until there's a next recession-ish. Because I think think about it this.
What?
Because when people are tight on the pocket, they stop with the frivolous spending. Right now, the economy's strong.
But
people are doing stupid things.
Partially true, but at the same time, I don't think it's
you've
true.
got these places that are trying to. I mean, it's like going back to the first question about the breweries that are allowing dogs into the brewery. What else?
Fewer and fewer.
Are you
fewer and fewer quickly?
Okay, but I mean, for the ones
disagree.
that for the ones
Don't you
that
hair
do,
flip.
for the one for the ones that do, they're trying to not only get the people to come in to drink the beer, but they're trying to get the people to bring their animals in.
They're just
and
pouring water into dishes. They're not gonna make dog water.
But
in
I
a
mean,
brewery where there's limited capabilities.
there's still something in it. I mean, there was actually, I don't think we ever got to it, but there was an article that I had about a place I was in Texas that was making 3 different beers for dogs that were getting these people to bring their dogs into breweries, and it was a hit. And it's so much of a hit that this place is now shipping this stuff nationally to different states. And
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
when
it's-
you're the only place that does it, I mean, like as much as there's other places that do it, when you're the only place that takes advantage of the shipping, and there's 0 other places that ship dog beer to other places, like of course people are going to buy it.
They're trying to be pioneers. It's just like, and I think that's the problem.
It's like vegan
you said.
soul food. I think. Like it's super niche.
Don't get me started with that place by my fucking house, please.
It's super niche. It's cool for a minute, but it'll die down like the rest of
It
everything.
won't die down because enough people buy vegan food that they'll go to vegan soul food knowing that it's going to be vegan.
That place has been open for like 8 months, and I could walk to it. I still haven't been there.
Fried chif tofu, whatever.
Yeah.
My argument, I think it's here to stay because I mean, I am a white woman, but
Are you now?
Use your
use
your privilege, girl.
The people that
Beto.
second time in the episode.
Oh gosh.
Ken's headphones are off. But
Ken's done.
my argument is the people that actually like spend money on their dogs want to take them everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are more and more of those people, I think, that are willing to do that, and more of the emotional support animals that are
Yeah, but emotional
so
support
you're gonna
animals
want to
Yeah, but emotional support animal ship is decreasing now because there's been a great crackdown on emotional support animals, and I agree with you because
in airports and airplanes.
which is kind of the reason why people get emotional support tags. People don't want to say this.
I mean,
because
as
they
much
want
as
to have
flying
them
is
not
the
under the
most
plane.
Anxious.
All right. And
shit in the world.
I mean, I'm anxious whenever I fly, but I don't need a dog to accompany me.
I just don't want it. I don't want it to be a slippery slope because obviously, and for those who are watching and will be listening, by all means, for God's sakes, do not actually give your dogs actual beer.
Nope. Or do.
But just you don't want to go because that actually harms dogs. And I don't want it to get into that slippery slope where people are, oh, well, they're drinking dog beer. They can drink this beer.
Right, yeah.
And you're like, yeah, my dog gets laps of these every once in a while. And you know what? Why don't I just fill up the bowl with Coors Light? And, that actually harms dogs. So that is not something that actually needs to be done. And I think that, with going into this dog beer industry, if you call it industry,
Shark Tank dog
really a
beers.
thing?
Right. It's good and it gets the people in, but the slope needs to stop right there.
But it never does.
Not happen.
It never does.
That's going to do it for us. Better on Draft episode 170. Jenna, welcome to the show.
Thank
You are stuck.
Damn it.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Oh, jeez, I think of that scene every time.
Matt is the only mic that I cannot mute. Guys, that's going to do it for us here at Better on Draft. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. You can catch us each and every Friday, 7 p.m. We're not going to be here next week, but we'll be here in 2 weeks, the first Friday of April.
You know what they can do next week?
What they can do next
They
week?
go to North Center Brewing Company in Northville, Michigan.
They can go to North Center Brewing.
Have that ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
The cool kids,
Violet.
or the cool kids Kolsch because it's a better beer.
No, it is not. So you can check out Better on Draft. We are live. You can join us in chat 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, as well as you could check out on Spotify, iTunes. Leave us a comment. You can find us on Facebook, Better on Draft, Twitter, Better on Draft, Instagram, Better on Draft. You can also find the rest of our sponsors along with North Center Brewing. We have Zatuna Liquor over in Rochester Hills, as well as t-shirts.beer.
My Beer Box.
My Beer Box over in mybeerbox.com. And that's going to do it for us.
And North Center Brewing Company in
170.
Northville, Michigan.
That was the first one I said on that little shtick.
He's got it covered, man.
But I mean, if you want to talk about North Center again, we can talk about North Center again.
Sorry, got
everything.
Ultraviolet, one of the best alt beers in the world. And that's going to do it. Better on Draft 170. Thank you for joining us. And no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft.
Better on
Have a good night.
Draft.
Peace.